Welcome back again on this YouTube channel, Jaymo Builder YouTube channel, guys, where exactly that we talk all about affordable housing and how exactly you can be able to really build a house affordably. How exactly can I be able to build affordably? And particularly if you want to build, just a starter home, guys, how do you build affordably that house, guys? I will tell you, but guys, we are going to concentrate on only three key parts that you can actually be able to save money, so much money, guys. And we'll start with the first one, but saving money on your construction based on particularly when you start purchasing the land. You understand? Because, guys, remember, if you're purchasing land to build your house, you have to be very keen. You have to think about, how exactly am I going to save costs when it comes to if I buy this land in this region or versus buying the land in another place, So I will tell you this, that if, for example, that you buy a land where exactly that place, for example, is swampy, it has black cotton soil, maybe the slope is actually, it has a very steep slope and everything, maybe it's very low-key, it's going to cost you so much to do either, for example, and also, guys, also, if the land that you're actually buying, it has so many trees, So one of the things you understand that you're going to spend a lot of money doing what exactly that we call site clearance. You understand? So, of course, any land that you're going to build a house, you're going to do site clearance. But sometimes the amount of money used, for example, maybe unafaa ukate miti, unafaa sijui ufanya nini, there's some site unaendanga, you spend a lot of money, and sometimes you might need machinery, so that then they can be able to do the site clearance. Also, when you buy a land, a place where you have black cotton soil. So what exactly is going to happen? The cost of foundation is going to go up, because then you're going to spend a lot of money doing the backfilling, excavation. The depth of foundation is going to be very deep. So you have to really think about, when you're buying land, that is the first point of actually where exactly that you're going to save a lot of money. So when you're buying land, it's actually to build your house, think correctly, think light where you are buying the land, because the location and the site condition of the land that you're going to buy is going absolutely to have an effect in terms of the overall cost of your construction. You understand? So it's very most important to look at that. So if you can be able to get a land which is relatively flat, maybe you can even go ahead and get a place where it's madam, you have maybe red soil, you don't need to go to very, very deep in all that, so that is going to save you a lot of money. Even places where it's very swampy, you are going to cost you a lot of money, because you will have to maybe go down, and also even when it comes to the foundation, the plinth level, you are going to raise your house so much, because that area is more likely to do flooding. You understand? So that is one thing where you buy the land. The plot location is very most important. Now, the second most important where exactly you're going to save cost of construction is when it comes to design. And this is where so many Kenyans are actually failing, because I can tell you that actually it estimated that probably 90% of the houses in Kenya are actually not designed, mostly, particularly in the rural areas, and some people just want to do their own thing. Let me tell you, you're going to save so much when actually your house is actually designed. But then let me tell you this, it will also matter with the architect that you choose and the type of house you choose. You cannot be designing an affordable house and then the architect who is designing for you only designs in Karen and Modaiga. They are going to give you designs of that nature, so you have to know, you have to understand that once, for instance, let's say, for example, you have 3 million, right? So the first important thing the architect is not going to do, even before doing anything, you're going to do this, that you have 3 million, right? So I'm going to take you at 3 million, so 3 million, and then the architect is going to divide that 3 million by the rate of construction per meter square. Do you understand? So let's say, for example, here in Kenya, maybe the 3-bedroom that you have described probably can be built on 30,000 per meter square. So the architect now is going to design your house on probably 100 meters squared. You understand? Depending on the rate, you understand, and depending on the type of finishes that you want. You understand what I mean? So you're going to be designed a 100 meters squared. Then the second question will be, this 100 meters squared, how exactly then can an architect be able now to distribute that space to fit your space requirement? You understand? So that is where exactly it all starts. It doesn't start from designing you a big house and then you tell me the budget. You understand? So, and most of the time, this is what exactly so many clients are doing. You go to an architect, tell them this is what exactly that I want, and then you are designed. And then you come to the ground, and then you say, oh, I don't want this house is 7 million, like seriously, so first of all have the budget so that then you can be able make the work of the architect to be as easy as possible. Tell the architect, I want a house which is not more than 5 million. I want a house which is 4 to 5 million. For example, let's say if you have a budget of 5 million, yes, you can have a very nice maisonette of around, let's say, even 150 meters squared, and it's actually a maisonette because, for example, when you look, for example, let's say you are building in Arabia, you have 5 million as a budget. Let's say here, using my calculator, then let's say 35,000 per meter squared. So you can get a very nice 140 to 150 meter squared maisonette. 150 meters squared, it means that probably the ground floor is going to be around 75 meters squared, and then maybe the first floor to have 75 meters squared. Sometimes the ground floor might have maybe 100 meters squared, the upper floor might have 50 meters squared. You understand? So you have to have the budget. So when you go to the architect, for you to save a lot of money, go to the architect, have what exactly the budget that you have, so that then while you are designing your house, you are designing your house based on that budget. You understand? So that even in terms of area, the type of roofing design that is going to be proposed will be in line with the budget that you have. You understand? So that then you don't start building on a flat roof, so that then pesa ishe even before you can even finish that house. You understand? So you have to be precise on what exactly you have as a budget. You understand? So the budget that you have for your house is key. It's key. You have to really think about it. There are websites that you can go to get inspiration of the house that you want. For example, Pinterest. You can go to Pinterest. You can get the inspiration for how exactly you can be able to design your house, the floor plan, the elevation, the facade. All these things you can be able. Also the 3D and everything, where exactly then you can be able to get the design of that house. You get. So that is very most important before that you start building your house. So guys, design stage is where exactly you're going to save a lot of money, particularly on space, because remember that the key determinant of the cost of construction is actually on the area of your house. You understand? So you can build a 2-bedroom with 50 meters squared, and also at the same 2-bedroom with almost 80 meters squared. The whole difference now is that the cost of the 80 meters squared is going to be up more than the one building 50 meters squared. You understand? So, and the difference might be very big also depending on the type of finishes that you choose. Even when you are designing, you can be able now to predict what type of finishes are you going to do. You understand? So that then you don't do tiles of 60 by 60, and then your budget, then budget yako inaisha and everything. So that is very most important. It's most important part that you're going to really save a lot of money when it comes to construction, and which area that you need to really think about is when it comes to materials. Materials, guys, I want you to look at it from two aspects. One, from transportation cost, and also from buying in bulk. That is the only two ways in which exactly that you can be able to save money on your construction cost, right? So when it comes to materials, it's what exactly that we call, you can do what we call a material survey, right? First of all, you need to have what exactly that we call material schedule. So material schedule simply means is a list with exactly like it's form of an Excel sheet that you'll be given by whoever is actually designing for you, whether you are architect or you are QS, your quantity surveyor. They're going to give you material schedule. So the material schedule will mostly for different stages of construction. So for example, the plumbing, the electrical, the foundation, the wiring, the plastering. So you're going to be given all those materials. So let's say, for example, it's materials for doing the superstructure. So you're going to do what we call material survey. So material survey simply means you're going to go to a number of hardware, a number of suppliers, and get all these kind of quotations, so that then you can be able to decide. So you have to do what we call material cost survey. So you need to know which materials and who supplies is selling these materials at the most affordable rate. Remember, it's not about cheap, it's about affordable. And affordable, you have to look also on quality. So you have to buy quality materials, because remember also, guys, that sometimes when you talk about affordable house, it's also about the longevity of that house. It's about the durability of the material. For example, if you do a ceiling and then you have to repair that ceiling or to redo that ceiling after 1 year, that is not affordable. That's very expensive. So you see, so So you also need to know to look for quality materials. So look for quality materials, and also do survey. So look for all these suppliers, compare the prices, compare the quality and everything, compare the terms and condition. Is this person telling you, there's hardware where you can buy materials and get free transport, but then the cost of material is high. There's somewhere else they're gonna sell you materials at a maybe affordable rate, but then you pay for transport. So you have to compare all these things, and be objective when actually you are doing all these things, right? So when it comes to materials, also you also need to buy materials in bulk. That is also going to save you a lot of money. Buying in bulk, you can also be able to bargain, because then probably you're buying from one supplier. And during construction, I always prefer working with one supplier. But of course, sometimes, but this one supplier has to supply you quality materials. So you have to, don't stick to one and then you don't know about quality. So you have to be very keen on quality, because this material you're buying, nobody is giving you for free. So you don't have to have loyalty with that one. So you have to be loyalty when actually you're given quality material and the service is good, right? So look for a supplier who is going to supply you these materials. For example, let's say you get a supplier who is going to supply you sand, ballast, marble. They can give you a better deal, because then it's like you have given them all this amount of work. You understand? So go for one supplier, and then of course give them the work to supply for you all these materials, and that one you can be able to bargain for better deal. You understand? So also, for example, let's say, for example, other materials like let's say plumbing and all these, you need to buy them in bulk. You understand? So for example, if it's a plumbing material, electrical materials, all those pipes, go to a hardware and buy all these materials in bulk. You understand? So one, you're able to negotiate for better deal, for better discount, and also at the same time you reduce on the cost of transportation, because actually, guys, sometimes we don't really consider the cost of transportation in construction. And actually it's actually very costly when you look at it from that perspective, that the cost of transportation in construction is actually very high. It actually might consume a lot of your money when you don't consider transport, right? So buying materials in bulk, ensuring that you get better discount by working with one supplier. The other important thing about working with one supplier is you can be able even to get these materials, and then you pay, you get them in advance and then you pay later. You understand? So it's kind of that arrangement, because probably you have now, developed a good rapport and a better, relationship. And of course, you have developed trust in terms of you paying on time or the date that you have promised. So it's very most important when to create this kind of a good relationship with the suppliers of these materials. So when you're buying materials, ensure that you buy them in bulk. And also another important thing is that you have to understand that the materials which are actually locally available, they are mostly cheapest. I would highly recommend you go for example, if you're in Western, build with materials which are locally available in your area. Don't go for Darugo or anything. You'll be surprised to find that even brick are more better in terms of even strength than even Darugo. You understand? But that will depend on how the bricks has been manufactured. So go for locally available material, buy materials in bulk, because then also work with one supplier, because also you can be able to negotiate for better discounts, and also ensure you buy materials at once so that you reduce on transportation. So that one is going to save you a lot of money, and that will go a long way, right? So another way you can be able to build affordably is actually to think about of labor. And actually, guys, let me tell you that labor will account for almost 40% of the cost of your construction. So it's very most important to think about labor in that perspective, right? So for labor, I would tell you that it's very most important you go for contract. Don't do the daily wage. That is going to be expensive, and also it will require a lot of supervision. You understand? So go for labor, buy all the materials, so that then you can be able to control on quality of material. Buy, for example, if for example you're talking about doing masonry wall, buy all the blocks, buy all the sand, buy the cement and everything, so that then remember that you can be able to bargain for these for discounts, when buying these materials. Once you have all the materials, call the fundi. They charge you the amount of money they're going to do all the walls. Once they are done, you pay them the money. You understand? So that also reduces the level of stress, because let me tell you that construction is very stressful, particularly when you are dealing with the labor. It's actually very stressful. Sometimes the fundi ajakuja, the fundi had promised to come early, as sijui ameenda kazi ingine, I don't know what. There are so many things. So once you give contract, you are able to be assured that that work is going to be done on time, and also the quality. The best important thing about contract is that you're going to pay for work done well. You're not just going to pay for work done, you're going to pay for work done well. If the work is not done in a short way, you're not going to pay for that money. You're going to tell them to repeat the work so that then you can be able to pay. And of course, because remember that most contractors, they want to create a better reputation, so they also have reputation to protect. So they're going most of the time do a better work. And now, of course, on your side, you have also to provide a better working condition, ensuring that the materials are on site, ensuring that you are paying on time. They are all, also you as a homeowner, you have a role to play in terms of the whole thing. Sometimes we complain so much about contractors, but sometimes we don't see the side of the client. Sometimes there are clients who don't pay on time, and sometimes you might not be able to sustain, the labor on site. You cannot be able to pay the people who are on site and everything. So those are some of the things that you need to really look into. So when it comes to labor, agree on contract. Don't do daily wage. For example, it's a foundation, agree with the fundi. You can do a phase construction, you agree with the fundi up to doing the foundation level. They charge you the labor maybe 50,000, well and good. Once they are done with the foundation, agree on doing the masonry wall. Once they are done, call the person doing the roofing. They charge you for that contract, you pay them. You understand? So that makes the construction easier. When it comes to tiling, call somebody who does the tile. You agree on how much they're going to charge you, then you pay them once they are done with the work. You come to painting, you come to doing the interior, the wardrobe, the ceiling, and everything. So go with contract. The most important also when you are working with contract is you can be able also to predict how much it's going to cost you, because the contract, you can be able to negotiate about the contract even like a whole month. Then you go and look for that money, other than when you pay on a daily wages, you don't know how much money it's going to cost you. You understand? So you might be stranded on a certain phase. You understand? So that is very most important, and I hope you can be able to look at those three things. So we talk about design, we have talked about materials, and we have talked about labor. When talking about design is where we say that you can be able to know what exactly is the design of the roof, what are the spaces of the different rooms, what amount of area am I going to build. That is on the design. When it comes to materials, we have said that you need to look on how exactly can I be able to buy materials on bulk, and can I be able to buy these materials, or where exactly that I can be able to get better discounts, whether it's going to town and going to the places where those materials are actually being sold, and then you can be able to source them, guys. So that is the very most important. So and I hope you guys, you have really learned something, and I wish you all the best as you build your house, right? So, but of course, guys, if you need any of this advice, you need any consultation with us, you can always contact us, and then we can see how exactly we can be able to help you. But remember, guys, that some of these services, guys, you ask, if it is a personalized kind of consultation, there is a charge for that, right? If you want structural design, architectural plan, all these things about construction, you can always contact us, and of course we can be able to help you, and also even the construction services that you might need for your construction, guys. So see you in the next one. I'm Jaymo the builder, and I wish you all the best in your construction journey.